get some reading going today. You don't need notebooks out for reading today, but you do want to go to Schoology and reading and open up the reading textbook link up here at the top. So we can go to lesson 22. There it is. And we want to click on the dig deeper option over here in the contents column. So dig deeper. You can follow along here on the screen, or you can follow along on your iPad. We're going to review some information about theme and a few other things as well. Friday, we'll do a test over the Birch Bark House story. Okay, so let's see. I think we'll click on this so they can read to us.
In the Birch Bark House, Omachias reacts quickly when she encounters the bears. How a main character responds to challenges or conflict can help determine theme. Theme is the central message or idea of a story. Authors may state some character traits directly. Often, however, the reader must make inferences about a character's qualities based on descriptions of his or her appearance, thoughts, and actions. These clues help you identify and understand the story's theme. Look back at page 671 in The Birch Bark House. How does Omachias react to having her feelings hurt by her sister? Think about how her reaction and what she does as a result relates to the theme of the story. Characters' qualities, characters' motives, characters' actions, theme.
All right, let's go back up to that paragraph that he read. What's an inference? It says readers must make inferences about characters' qualities. We've talked about inferences quite a bit. What are they, Juliana? It's what? Yeah, so you're kind of gathering information, right, and coming up with some ideas, some new ideas based on what you know and what you've read. Okay? So you're gathering information. Here we're gathering it about Omachias, right? We know she's upset with her sister, and how does that affect her? How does that make her react and behave to the things she encounters during this story? What do we know about her? Or what do we learn about her? You're sleepy on a Monday today, huh?
Yeah, Monday, that's fine.
I know. I'm with you.
We got used to sleeping in when we're on break, so now we had to get up early.
Yep. Now we got to get back to work. What do we know about Omachias? What does she do? What happens, Kenny?
She stumbles into some bears.
She does. She stumbles upon some bears, and her anger, right, towards her sister and her wanting her to make her sister proud or jealous, all those things, she does what? John?
Try to take the bear cubs home with her.
Right, so she decides she's going to take these bear cubs home because that would do it, right? Her sister would be jealous, would be proud of her, would respect her, all those things. So Omachias, right, and her anger, her being upset towards her sister, kind of hinders or ruins her judgment, right? What did we say Omachias learns in this story? Or what do we learn from Omachias? Kenny?
To not judge a book by its cover. To not like not look at something and assume that something's happening.
Okay.
Instead, find the facts and make sure that something is happening.
So, like, think before you act,
Yeah.
right? So she should have thought about what she was doing before she reacted. But she was reacting out of what? Why was she doing the things she was doing? Riker?
Because she was angry.
Right, she was angry.
Acting out of anger.
Right, anger. She was upset, right? She wanted to try and do something to make her sister appreciate her. So she was thinking out of feelings, or maybe not thinking out of those feelings and that anger she had. Okay, so her actions, and we did this, right? We filled in these things, okay, and talked about this. So her actions, her motives, what's a motive? What's a motive, Maya?
It's kind of like something that makes
Right, so it's something that makes you do something, okay, and her actions. So her motivation was she was trying to get her sister to appreciate her, right? Her actions were not well thought out, okay? So we learn that Omachias kind of lets her feelings get the best of her, doesn't she? Okay? She might be a trustworthy person, she might be hardworking, but we from this story learn that she lets her feelings get the better of her, okay? So theme being the message of that story. Let's look over here. Question, Riker?
Really, if you think about it, if you're really that mad at your sibling, and like say like I get mad at my sibling because my sibling is 19 years old. So
That
he
happens.
has to, like, pick at me, goes, oh, I got your brother.
Picks on you, huh? So what do you do when you get mad at him?
I don't know, and then I don't know, I just get really mad. But I wouldn't tell my dad. I just take care of him by myself.
Oh, okay.
Or you just like
So that doesn't get you into more trouble, does it? Taking care? No.
Well, I don't. Well, if my dad wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Because my brother's almost an adult, so he wouldn't really care.
Oh. So I heard somebody say they kind of just let it go, right? Siblings are going to be siblings, right? We tend to argue with our siblings, and we may not always agree, or we might give each other a hard time, and sometimes just letting it go and moving on is best, right? Sometimes you might try and take care of it yourself, kind of like Omachias did here, but we want to keep in mind to think before you act, right? Okay, Kenny?
My little brother, he doesn't know where something is. He just says that I hit it, and then he just hits me and then tries to punch me in the face.
Makes
That's how
things
bad
up,
it is.
huh? Those
Yeah,
little
and half
siblings.
the time I don't even know where it is.
Sean?
My brothers, just out of nowhere, they make up random stuff to get me in trouble.
Yeah. You have all younger brothers too, don't you?
Yeah, I'm the oldest, and I got 2 younger ones.
Yeah. Now you have an older sibling, don't you,
Yeah,
Kenny?
one.
Okay. Just
And
one
then I
older
have a
sibling?
younger sister and a younger
Oh, okay.
brother.
I say I know a lot of you in here have younger siblings.
My older brother
Okay.
is like never home. He's always somewhere.
Yeah. Maya? How does that work out for you, being the youngest?
I'd rather be the
Don't
oldest.
say it's great. It's not.
In my family, it's
The
very
older
common.
sibling picks on you? Yeah. No, your brother wouldn't pick on
In
you.
my family, the youngest kid is
All right, raise your hands. Gentlemen, I've got other people. Emmy,
One time, my brother kicked me out my house.
did he lock you out? Why did he do that? Just to be mean?
It's because I didn't do the dishes and he has anger issues.
Oh, so what did you do? Did you get back in
I
okay?
came from the back door
Oh, okay. You snuck in a different way, huh?
because he didn't open it.
He didn't open it. He didn't think about that one. All right. So we all deal with our siblings in different ways, right? All right. Let's keep going. Author's word choice. What do you think that means? Author's word choice. What do you think this has to do with? Kenny?
It's like the type of words that he uses. Like if he
Yeah.
uses like words like cool or like awesome or happy or
So,
like excited. Or,
They pick certain words, right, to portray things, to help you understand things better. So that's what this is talking about. Authors carefully choose words to help their readers understand what is happening in the story. So I'm going to go back to, that says page 68. Let me see if that's the page I want. I want to go back to page 674. So you can go there. Let's see, 674. If I go up here and click on go to, I can type it in. You should be able to do the same, and it should take you right there. I'm going about halfway, 674. I'm going to start reading right about here. Okay, and I want you to listen to the author's word choices. Okay, tell me why you think the author is describing this the way he or she is describing it. Okay, let's see. The next moment, she found herself flipped over on her back and pinned underneath a huge, powerful, heavy thing that sent down a horrible stink. It was the sow bear, the mother, breathing on her a stale breath of decayed, old deer hides and skunk cabbages and dead mushrooms. Ugh. The surprising thing was, Omachias realized later that although she had no memory of doing so, she had the scissors out of their case and open, the sharp ends pointing at the bear's heart. So the author uses some very descriptive words to describe the bear's breath, right? Why do you think she does that? Why does she want to describe that bear's breath in such detail? Sean?
To like show you, to like describe what it feels like.
Okay, to describe what it feels like.
And
Kenny?
not read
Oh,
that right before lunch.
right.
To give you like an idea of like what it felt like to be there.
Okay. So you kind of understood what Omachias was going through, right? Okay, trying to use those senses so you could almost, like you said, you don't want to read it before lunch because now you're getting this awful smell in mind, Riker?
So maybe catch the reader's attention.
Okay. And this picture also kind of helps. Why do you think this picture, this is another part we're going to talk about, it's the bear seems to be so close. How does this picture help us with the story, Landon?
I don't know. When you look at it for a while, it looks cute.
It does. You might start to think it's kind of smiling at you, right? And it doesn't look so angry. Okay. Adam?
It's staring into my soul. Because the bear is on top of the eyes and it's like there
Right. It's like it's right there on top of you, right? They want us to understand just how close Omachias is. She's so close, she can smell and figure out all the things that bear is eaten, right? And this picture is so close, so we know, right, kind of proximity. Okay, imagine being in her position. You're close enough where you can smell their breath, that she's looking right at you. Okay, so this picture kind of adds that extra, along with those words that the author's using, just how close Omachias is to this bear. Okay, Kenny?
Is this a true story?
No, historical fiction.
So it is possible to happen.
It could have. So if I go back to, here we are. They say to go to page 678, right? It's easy to imagine why Omachias' voice trembles when the mother bear makes a gurgling sound deep in her throat and opens her mouth to show long curved yellowish teeth. So again, very descriptive words, right? She's close enough to see this, okay? She's close enough to hear this gurgling sound the bear is making. The author's word choice provides a clear impression of what Omachias hears and sees. So like you said, the author's trying to get us to understand what she's hearing and seeing, right? Like we're almost there. Visual elements, I talked a little bit about that picture. So we've talked a lot about photos, graphics, and illustrations. Illustrations are pictures, okay, photos. How do they help a story? How do these pictures help this story? We talked about this one already. In your assignment last week, you were looking at these pictures and explaining or picking one and telling us how it helps the story. Sean?
kind of shows you what's going on and kind of where she is and what they look like.
Yeah, it definitely gives us where she's kind of out here in nature, right? These bears, they're kind of tumbling around, right? Okay, if I go back another page.
Like if you're reading a story and when there's no pictures and it doesn't really say where she is.
Right. So this gives us the idea that she's out within nature, isn't she? Where you probably could definitely encounter bears like that. Okay, that other picture with the bear, with the mother bear, we see how close she is. Okay, I think there's this picture here, again, bear cubs. We start to see that mother bear here. Kenny?
Back at the first picture, it like she has like the needles, and if you look at that picture, it can kind of help you imagine the picture at the end where she has the needles up to her heart.
The scissors, yeah.
because you
Yep.
can see the.
Yep, and here we see them over here on the ground, right?
Yeah.
Where she even mentioned the story, she kind of unconsciously does that with the scissors, right? Not realizing she had them. So here we see she's trying to talk to this bear, which is eventually what gets her to let that bear go. Why do you think that works? Why do you think her ultimately talking to this bear might convince the bear to spare her life, Riker?
Well, because the bear was giving her a lesson.
Okay, possibly. To stay away from the cubs, right? Don't come near them again. What else do you think? Kenny?
Because with bears, usually they're just protective and they don't really just attack. They just want to protect their cubs. And once their cubs are protected, then they will leave the person that was fighting their cubs alone.
All right. So she was just protecting, right? Sean?
The bear might hear her talking in a soft, sweet voice to it, and figure she doesn't want to hurt her cubs or her.
Yeah, so we learn here some more traits about Omakayas, right? That she stayed calm in this situation. I don't know that I would have been that calm, or I could have just calmly talked to this bear and explained to the bear what's happening, even though it's not really necessarily understanding. But you're right, she did stay calm, right? And showed the bear, you know, I'm not a threat. I'm not here to hurt your cubs, okay? So I think that tells us a lot about Omakaya's character. Adam, did you have something?
That the bear didn't think that she was a hunter or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, again, didn't think she was hunting for the bears, or, you know, realized she wasn't a threat. She was calm, okay? Kept her cool, so the bear decided, well, you're probably good. I can let you go. And they all learned a lesson. What do you think those bear cubs learned? What kind of lesson did they learn? Here we see the mother bear kind of nosing them away. Brendan?
Not to eat berries while some strangers.
Yeah, not to be in contact with humans, right? Hopefully. Mother bear probably was not happy about that at all. Riker?
Also, don't bears like sharks? They don't want to eat humans.
Probably, because they're not necessarily, they eat the berries and that kind of stuff. I mean,
They only attack in
Even if they
self-defense.
use
Right.
the grizzly bears,
yeah.
they do it.
So she
The
wasn't necessarily, it was more of like defending her
Usually they
family,
only
right?
attack- yeah,
Okay.
90% of the time they only attack in
Luckily the
self-defense.
bear
All
didn't
right.
eat, luckily the bear didn't eat Okaimus, because then it would just be the girl who cried bear.
Yeah, kind of like the boy that cried wolf, right? All right, oops, this isn't what I want quite yet. I want you, in lesson 22, we're going to look at a dictionary and glossary. This is just for viewing. We're only going to look at it. But before we get too involved in this, let's talk about a dictionary and a glossary. What are the differences between a dictionary and a glossary? Emmy?
A dictionary has a lot of like the definitions of like anything, but
Right.
a glossary is like only definitions for like a certain.
Correct. So a dictionary has all kinds of definitions, right? All words, all definitions that they can come up with and put in there. A glossary is going to be subject specific. Okay, we've talked about domain specific words. That's what a glossary is for. Okay, a glossary in the back of your social studies book or science book, we're going to have words related to that particular text. Where a dictionary, we can find all kinds of words in there. Let's talk about a dictionary. So when we're looking for words in a dictionary, there's a lot of words in there, right? How do they, even in a glossary, how do they organize those words? How do they organize words in a glossary or a dictionary? Ava?
Like alphabetical order.
Right, alphabetical order. What do they have to help us find those words? Because I could still, even alphabetical order, I could be taking a long time to find the definition of a word that I want. What else do they do for us in a dictionary? Glossaries have them too if they're lengthier. Maya?
Sometimes they'll like first letters,
Right. So they're taking the words, right, and putting them in alphabetical order based on each of the letters. So if I look at this particular dictionary, now on yours one, on your iPad, you just type word in, right, and it pops it up for you. But here, what do we call these? I'm going to show them nice and close here. This page has them. If I skip some more pages, I see them again. What are these words called at the top of this dictionary page? I need eyes up here. Words at the top. What are those called? Sean, what are they called? See them up here? There it is again.
Yeah.
If I turn it again, I got more. New Jersey, Nice. They do. Each page is different. Each dictionary is going to have different words at the top. They're not all going to be the same.
Because like I also feel like some dictionaries and glossaries they have like say A and then pages 102 to 103.
So that's just the one letter. These are words. So this page I turned to here, it's page 552, and on one side it says New Jersey, and on the other side it says Nice. Then on page 553, it says yellow and nitrate. What am I going to find on that page, on these pages? Brendan? Right, words that are in between these two words. Okay, so if it falls in between New Jersey and Nice, I'll find it on this page. Those are called guide words. Those words are there to guide you through the dictionary. Right, if I know how to spell a word, right, and it falls in between these pages, how about the word, just looking for a good one. So the word nice is on here because it's N-I-C-E, and we're going to go through Nice, which is N-I-E. Okay, and we started with New Jersey. What's another word that you can think of that might be in this page? So the first word is New Jersey, and the last word is Nice. What word do you think would be in here? I said nice was on here, N-I-C-E. Can you think of some other ones? Jackson? 9, like the number 9? That's going to be on my next page because N-I-N is going to come after N-I-E. Would just the word new be on here?
Yeah.
If I start with New Jersey, you think new would be on here? What do you think?
Probably.
New to New Jersey? What word would be first? Just the word new. So new would be on the other page. So if I turn to this other page, it should be on here.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yep, new. Not used before, unaccustomed, unfamiliar. How about the word? You're going to know because I'm looking at the book. How about the word nibble? So if I have N-I-E, how does nibble start?
N-I-B.
N-I-B. So would N-I-B be before N-I-E?
Yeah, because nibble spelled N-I-B-L-E.
Right, well, 2 B's. But yes, it would be, because it would come in before Nice. Do all words have just one definition? No, not all words have one definition. Okay, let's look at this dictionary entry. Reputation is the word. How many definitions does the word reputation have? How many definitions, John? 3. I see 3. Yep, 1 here. This is going to be used as a noun. Here's 2. And here's the third one. Okay? So down here is a glossary entry. So it's Ice Age. That's a little more specific, right? We're not going to use that one right now. We're going to look at this one. Dictionary entry. Read those to yourself. I'm going to ask you some questions about them. Let's see. Got him? Let's look at this first definition. So here, how do they have this word broke up? Let's start with that. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Let's talk about this dictionary entry. Why do they have these dots here? What do those mean? Maya? Right, those are the syllables. So it broke it up into syllables for you. How many syllables does reputation have? How many, Adam? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, what is this in parentheses? All dictionaries are going to show this. They're going to have the word in its syllables, and then they're going to show this. What is that, Emmy?
It shows how to see.
Yeah, this shows you how to pronounce it. Sometimes we see this in our reading, right? Social studies with names. They try to put in there the pronunciation. Okay, and that's what I try to use when I don't know how to pronounce a name, because some of those names can be difficult. What does this represent? This italicized N. Juliana? Right. Part of speech, you're learning about those in language, right? So here, this one happens to be a noun, okay? And it doesn't change anywhere, so it's always going to be used as a noun. Who can use the word reputation in a sentence? Your own sentence. Kenny?
My reputation in football is good, as everyone on my team is scared of me.
So your reputation in football is good, right? So which definition are you using? 1, 2, or 3?
2.
2, you think a good name, a good reputation?
Yeah.
Say your sentence again.
I have a good reputation in football
Because,
because people call me Big Kenny and are scared of me.
so isn't that what people are thinking? So would we go with 1? This is probably a trickier
well, I thought
one as
2
far.
because it's a good name.
Because you said good name, good reputation,
Yeah.
but you're in your sentence, you're telling me that people think that, right? People are saying
Yeah.
that or feel that way. So I would go
thought
with
because
1.
It was a good name.
So here it's telling you like a cheating ruined his reputation. So he had a good reputation, right? He was a good person, and then it kind of ruined. Stores can have a good name, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then it can get ruined. So here you're more talking about what people were thinking or saying. Okay, you could have done 1 or 2. Another sentence for the word reputation. So if I use the sentence, I'm trying to think of a good. Amazon has a good reputation for having speedy delivery. Which one? 1, 2, or 3? Probably not 3, right? That's talking about fame, being famous. So that one we can kind of maybe eliminate there. Okay? They are famous, right? They are well known, so we could use that sentence a little differently. Emmy, what do you think? 1? So again, that's what people are thinking, right? They're thinking it has a good reputation for shipping. Okay. Maya? Sure, you got a sentence? Let's hear your sentence. Okay. Jimmy John's has a reputation for making good sandwiches. So we're kind of in between these, aren't we? And that one might be more too. They have a good reputation, right? They're known for making decent sandwiches and for having, again, speedy delivery, right? That's their motto. Okay, let's look at this glossary entry. Whoop. So in this entry, why do you think there's only one, there it goes, why do you think there's only one definition for this word? Maya? Right, and this happens to be, again, the domain specific. So there is only one definition. And a lot of times when you're reading a book, okay, and you're looking at the glossary, it's only going to have the definition they want you to know about. Okay, it's not going to list all of them. So if you need to find all of the definitions of a word, you might have to go to a dictionary. Because glossaries are going to pick and choose what they want. Okay, so here we still have the N to show noun. Notice there's no way to pronounce it, I would guess, because this is pretty easy to pronounce, right? What does this mean down here? Page 107. What is that probably telling us? Adam? Right, so if I were reading a book, this is probably where I'd find that particular word, okay, if I wanted to read more about it. I don't have on here a thesaurus, but let's talk quick about a thesaurus. What is a thesaurus? What's it give us? This particular dictionary has a dictionary and thesaurus. What is a thesaurus, Emmy?
It shows words that have synonyms.
Right, so a thesaurus is going to show you synonyms. Sometimes it might show you some antonyms. Okay, but if you're doing a writing and you want to find a more interesting word, or your author word choice, you want to increase that, you might use a thesaurus. It's going to give you some different synonyms. Now these are set up the same way. You've got your guide words, they're alphabetical, okay, when you're looking up in a thesaurus. All right, questions about a dictionary, a glossary, or a thesaurus? Where's my arrow? There it is. We should be somewhat familiar with those, right? Can't find my arrow again. There it is. All right, today, if it'll let me get out of this, exit. There we go. Something in ReadWorks I wanted to show you. So when you log in, you generally come to assignments, right? And if I look up here, you should have this new link, this new spot here called Library. So if I click on Library, it's going to ask me to set up my library. Okay, I can pick some things that I like to read about. I like to read about animals, how things work, heroes and celebrities, maybe sports and hobbies. I'm just picking some things. And I'm going to hit the next button. Oh, I choose a theme. I like green. We'll go with green. Use these features to get the most out of your library, and then I'm going to click Let's Go. So now it's going to give me things to read. This is another spot you can read. They're not as long as on some of the Epic ones. They're article based. See how short that one is? Okay. So it's just article based. You can take some notes. It's not necessarily something I'm assigning you and requiring you to do. However, today, part of your assignment is to go in there, set up that library, pick some articles to read. Okay, and you're going to read for at least 20 minutes today. Okay, that's your only reading assignment, reading for 20 minutes. If you don't read in ReadWorks, you can read on Epic. If you have a book you want to read, you can read your book. As long as you're reading for 20 minutes. This is just another option. Okay? All right, so reading today for 20 minutes.